Hey you, I'm the Queen of Shade. Welcome to the interview. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, oh, and hit my Cash App to support your favorite content creator. Now let's get to the interview. Mwah. The Queen of Shade.
Let me tell you something. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too.
Salutations, Dufos. This is your fabulous leader, the Queen of Shade, coming to you with another special presentation. Moving full speed ahead, and we're back after our little hiatus. I turned 40 years old, and we're going to continue to do what we're doing. So talking to people all around the world, getting to know their stories, connecting with them, becoming friends. It has been an amazing journey. And having said that, I have someone new that you need to meet, and I'm sure you're probably already looking at him because he's really beautiful. This young man, hold on one second. Let me just make sure I get it right. Yes. This young man, yes, we got to be ready. I love this new technology age. So this young man is a singer, a songwriter, and a recording engineer. Please help me welcome to my platform the artist, the singer, the songwriter, and the recording engineer known as Dauví. Yeah.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Yay, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Listen, I'm glad to have you. It's kind of crazy because I've been on break. I've been on break since the beginning of September.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're my first interview back.
Whoa, I feel special.
Yeah, you are.
Special.
Yeah, you are. and I'm gonna tell you, I definitely want you to feel special because I wasn't due to come back until tomorrow. But I'm booked from tomorrow until November the 2nd. So there was no spots. So I actually came back a day early so I could talk to you. No lie. I was like,
well, thank you.
No problem. Because it was a conversation that I felt it needed to be had. I wanted to learn about you. I wanted the people to learn about you because I recently came across your artistry. And I'm blown away by the presentation. I'm blown away by the tonality. I'm a singer, so you're going to hear these terms. I'm blown away by your register, your range. And I can't get out of my head. Now, mind you, since we've been speaking for a while now, I can't get out of my head. Pretty little lips tell pretty little lies.
Oh my goodness.
That's the opening. That's the opening to your new song.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even actually finished that song. So I think that song is actually going to be on the next project.
You wrong for that. You wrong. You wrong for that. You wrong for that.
Yeah, it's not on this one. It's not on this one.
Put that out.
Nope.
It's like that. So I was like, okay, this song gonna be out. That song needs to come out. I need a single. Nope. I need a single.
And so it'll probably come out sooner than later. Because I started working on new music in the middle of me working on the one that I'm about to release now. So, the project Fuckboy is releasing on the 10th, I want to say, of this month. Yeah, October 10th.
Okay.
And while I was like at the very end of that, I started making new songs because I was like, I want to add more? Do I want to keep on telling this story? And then I was like, yeah, no, I think I'm done with this story. I'm just going to go ahead and start creating, at least working on whatever the new project is going to be, so that once this comes out, I could just move right into, the next thing.
What I love about artistry is, and your artistry is you're independent, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
So am I. And I love that. I did a whole bunch of videos today that were crazy. I was on my queen soapbox. But I was talking about the fact that ownership is so important.
Mm-hmm.
no, like creative control is no longer what's important, because they tell you, oh, well, if you sign with us, we'll give you creative control. No, 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 no. You still own it. And I
Mm-hmm.
myself have a problem with that because I'm not going to give you, I believe that we as singers, we as songwriters, we artists, we are given in our lives a certain amount of songs that
Mm-hmm.
come to us from spirit world that are shared with us to write and to bring into this world. So
Mm-hmm.
my thing is that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work for our ancestors to hum these melodies to us. And then we put these words to them. And then we do all of that only to deliver them beautifully. Tonality is perfect. Get them, record them in a studio. That's money. Mix and master them. That's money. To give them to someone else and just take a royalty.
It's too much. It's too much. I think that's part of the reason. I think if I were ever going to sign to a label, I would want to sign as a writer. Um, Only because I feel like if I sing the song, I don't want nobody else to have. I don't. You can't have none of it. if I sing
That's
it,
my
if I
problem.
have to write it and sing it, yeah, no, I
Keep
mean,
it
but if
in.
I'm writing it, I've written songs for other people my whole life. That's kind of how I started. Um, I was in middle school, and people would come up to me and be like, "Hey, I want to get at this girl. Can you write me a song?" And I would write a song for them, and that was how that was how I started.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How did they know you could sing?
I sung all the time. Yeah,
Okay.
I sung all the time.
Okay. So it was like they knew you could sing. So then
Yeah.
it didn't just come out of the blue, like they just knew, like they knew, okay, he's the
Mm,
music man. He's the music man. Music man,
yeah.
write me this
So I
song.
would say, I want to say, I'm pretty sure. I think I was in choir for at least a year in middle school. I remember I didn't really like it because it was more like show tunes and stuff like that, and I wanted to sing the real music. So I think I only did choir for about a year in middle school, but I know before all of that, I was definitely in choir. We were always singing Disney songs, and we had a little Mariah up in there. And we would sing some Whitney and a little R. Kelly when we were still, listening to him. But growing up with those people, they knew exactly who I was and what I did. So yeah.
You know what I like? I like that it sounds like from the beginning you were getting validation for your gift.
Mm.
And that doesn't always happen.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't. Well, I would say it definitely was difficult for me, because while I was getting validation, I was also getting the "shut up, you're too loud" from mom and dad. You know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
used to make me feel like, oh my goodness, like. But they support also.
I
So.
think we all got the shut up, you're too loud.
Mm.
Yeah, we all did. And
hmm
it's so crazy because I was in the case, well, you see me. I'm a trans illusionist. I'm not transgendered. I do this for work, and I also do this because I enjoy to do it. It just makes me feel beautiful. But I'm very much a man. But I've always had a very high, very lyric voice and very high. And I
I
remember,
love your music, by the way.
thank you. You've heard it. Oh,
I do. Yes.
we'll get to that in a second because I just recently I turned 40 and made a move. Let's just say that. So
hmm
I turn around and because of church and the black church and all of that, I sang tenor from
hmm
10 years old till second year of college
hmm
because I didn't want the judgment and the teasing because I was actually a mezzo soprano.
hmm
I'm a mezzo soprano. Lyrically, I'm a mezzo soprano. And like I used to be bullied so bad for my voice. And I look back at it now and I'm just like, fools, all of you. you could have been
hmm
you could have been in my entourage. And now
hmm
your broke ass is outside looking in, you know. But I wanted to go back to something you said because me, I won't even I've been asked because I am a psalmist too. I write. That's actually my real gift. Is that
Mhm.
right? Because people tell me like all of my Queen of Shade videos, they're written. I wrote them. You know, I
Mhm.
have the ability to give voice to my words. You can hear them. You can hear them
Mhm.
when I write them.
And
So
that's the magic.
that
That
is
is the magic.
that's
Yeah.
the magic. That's the essence of it all.
Mhm.
But I had a friend. The reason why I was saying this and what made me go to this was I had a friend who could sing his ass off. I mean, beautiful, one of those Whitney-esque voices,
Mhm.
lyric, just beautiful music. I'll have to share the song that he did with you. It's on SoundCloud. But he was picked up by the industry to be a songwriter. And
Okay.
what people don't understand is there's A-list songwriters, B-list songwriters, C-list songwriters, and D-list songwriters. They
Mhm.
wanted him to be a B-list songwriter. And I'm not going to say the artist that he was working with, that he was going to be working with, because I don't want people to think, oh, you calling them B-list and they A-list. Listen, but there was a lot of B-list. I should say that.
Yeah.
People ain't
Mhm.
A-list, though they wish that they were. But budget's not there. But they offered him $800,000 to start,
Mm.
but they wanted 80% of his royalties.
Ooh.
Yeah, as a
Oh
songwriter. And the
no.
crazy thing was, I wasn't the Queen of Shade then, but I was this person on sitting on my lily pad
Mhm.
honking after walking away from a major label deal myself. I'm
Mhm.
honking ownership, ownership, ownership. You know, he came right to me and I was like, don't you sign that.
Mhm.
80% of you want to give me 20% of what I make, not you, but
Yeah.
what I make. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to write for anyone. I get people all the time that ask, and I'm like, nope, I'm going to write for me. I'm going to write
Mm.
for me. So back to what I was saying, I recently did a move. I recently removed all of my music off of all streaming platforms. I'm going to sell it.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to sell it exclusively through my website.
Okay,
And
that makes sense.
I'm going to tell you why. Because they want to give us I won't say who I was with. See, you know, like it's crazy, but they want to give us pennies on the dollar. There was a class action suit a couple of years ago. Nicki Minaj spoke in it, and so did
Mhm.
Taylor Swift. They spoke, they both those powerful women spoke in it. How they wanted to give us, basically the artists, pennies on the dollar, but charge the listener, the customer, $20 to
Mhm.
have the membership, but you only want to pay the artist pennies, literally pennies on the dollar per stream.
Mhm.
And they can stream our music morning, noon, and night. So I realized it was right before my birthday. I realized I had only made on streaming platforms, and I had a number one in the UK. So I'm like, I only made for the life of my music, 7 years, I only made $800.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I feel like I remember hearing Nikki talk about that. Was that on
yep,
a
she
I
did.
think it was a title interview, I feel like.
She was very vocal about it.
Yeah.
She was very
I
vocal
feel like I
about it.
remember, yeah. I remember a couple interviews where she talked about that.
Yeah, she
Hmm.
was very vocal. She was very vocal about it. So my son actually said to me, you know, we as gay people, I got sons. So my son said, Mom, if you sell your music on your website for $2 a song, you gonna make more than that. And you
Hmm.
and I've got new music coming too, and everybody's anticipating that because I let that last album sit since 2018 and marinate.
Hmm.
I was like, y'all not getting that because it's not free. It's not free.
Yeah.
Thousands, almost $25,000 to do that album.
Hmm.
And you know, my grandmother's retirement money, you know, because my grandmother is my backer.
Hmm.
She put six figures into my career, which allows me to be able to do this full time. But
Hmm.
I'm like, everybody ain't got that, you know. And
That's
even
a
with her
blessing.
doing, yeah, but even with her doing that, it was still music is expensive.
Hmm.
Music
I'm
is
gonna tell you, this is the reason why, because I went to school for audio engineering, and that's
okay.
the reason why I did that, because music is expensive,
Yep.
you know. And so I basically told myself I would never be the guy that had to go to the studio to pay for studio time or any of that. And I taught myself I'm just now learning how to master really well.
Yeah.
The working coming up on the end of that last album really taught me, okay, you need to sit down, figure this thing out, and then because everybody kept, where's the music? Where's the music? Where's the music? Because I hadn't done anything since 2017. That was when my first project came out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was like, I'm not putting this album out to anybody until every single thing on it is exactly how I want it to be.
Yeah.
Because with the last album, I had a lot of regrets. I had a lot of things like, oh, I wish I would have done this harmony, or I wish I would have mixed it that way, or I should have took more time with it. With this one, I say if the song is not how I want it to be, it is not going on the album. Absolutely not. Mm-mm.
But you know what you're speaking of? You're speaking of your creative control. You're speaking
Mm-hmm.
of your right to be able to do that. Because get this, like we all have that in our careers. We start and it doesn't sound the way we want it to. So what
Mm-hmm.
happens is we started my album that was out in 2018 finally sounded the way that it needed to. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to my producer and my engineer. Her name is Kara Tavers. She's an
Okay.
artist. She's an artist, engineer, producer, mixing engineer. Like she does it all. So she just actually put out her own project, and it was amazing,
Mm-hmm.
amazing. But I knew it would be because she could do it herself. But
Mm-hmm.
so she like literally it sounded the way that it did, but I had music out for a couple of years, so I snatched it down, and immediately when I did, people started writing me like, I can't find your music, I can't find your music. And what I said to them is and what I told everybody, I said, I want to mix it, I want to remaster it, I want to do some things to it, and then
Okay.
I'll give you that again. So in addition
Mm-hmm.
to new music, I'll let it, because I wanted to hear how my debut album, I want to hear it the way
Mm-hmm.
my debut album was. So I'm going to go back, and it's not going to be a lot of work, because I can speak to you in these terms. I got all the stems.
Mm-hmm.
I got all the vocals. I got everything. I may have to
Mm-hmm.
go in and do a couple of things, but the songs are done. It's
Mm-hmm.
more so beat and stuff like that I want to just change up and add a few things here and there. But for the most part, but I told him, I said, listen, I promise you, I'll put it back out, because people wrote me immediately. They're still writing me, where's your music? And I'm like, listen, it's coming back out. But I'm on this kick that, especially being 40 and being in my 20s and walking away from a major label deal. Um, I just I've never been okay with people. I'm such a Libra. I've never been okay with people telling me what to do,
Mm-hmm.
how to do it, when to do it, if I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Never been that type. As effeminate as I am, I'm a boss queen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny, because my grandmother used to go to church, and this is the one thing that was true. They used to say to me, "Oh, the spirit of a man lives inside of you." And I'm like, well, yeah, one that doesn't want to be told what to do, one that can make his own decisions, then yeah, definitely. I'm too spirited
Mm-hmm.
though. But they didn't understand all that. But as far as, yeah. But as far as music goes, I can make more money selling it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I can actually make more money selling everything that I do myself.
Mm-hmm. Do you do
So
your own beat production?
get this, I have production credit because this is what I do. My she has had some beats that she loved that she made, and she sent them to me, and I did things with them. But
Okay.
the majority of my my projects, and I have many, I had about 67 songs out. I had one album with 50 songs.
Woo!
Yeah, I had one album with 50 songs on it. And that was my debut. It was 50 songs. Yeah, because I was not playing. Like I was not playing, and it was done right. It was, when it's done
Mm-hmm.
right, it's done right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what happens is, like I said, I hear my music in my head. I hear the music and the lyric in my head. My ancestors are so great to me. I have an uncle
Mm-hmm.
Sidney who died in 2006, and he was the music one. And I'll be sitting there. He's like, Bjorn, sing this. And literally from the first note, all the way, all the words, the bridges, the changes, the choruses, everything. I record them, and then I send them to her. And literally she just follows and creates the beat, follows. Like literally, I hear,
It's beautiful when you can find somebody that can do that.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I literally, and she says this to me. She always says, producing for you is so easy because I just follow you. I just follow
Mm-hmm.
you. Like the mute. And what I love is, like you just said, she gets so close. It's so hair close
Mm-hmm.
that it's like I sang it right out. And literally when I
Mm-hmm.
lay my vocals just melt into the melody, because in the beat,
Mm-hmm.
just, it was made for me. It was made expressly for me. So it's a great thing to have a musician in front of me who also
Mm-hmm.
believes in ownership, because literally they want, for a long time, streaming and the internet, they didn't know how they were going to approach that. Well, now they're coming up with tactics of, oh, you got to give us this, or oh, we want this percent, or we want that percentage of what you do online, and even percentages of your fan club. And I'm just, if you can live past the building the notoriety and having people tell you, well, you ain't nobody, I don't know you out here, I don't hear you on the radio, I don't hear you on this, I don't see you on television. If you can live past that, because I survived that, if you can survive that, then you like they'll be sitting here like us with an arsenal of music ready to put out whenever you want to put it out. My next album, get this, I'm a workaholic. I am. So my album.
Do you stay up all night doing it? I stay up all night until the wee hours of the morning, and it's like crack. I'm like I wake up and my eyes is like,
get this,
real crazy.
Get this. This was my first interview back, and I was up all night because I was so anticipating it.
Oh.
When I work, I work, and when I'm speaking to good people,
yeah.
It's a high that food can't give me, because my grandmother's so mad. She's like, boy, you don't eat. And I'm like, that's from fashion.
You have to be reminded. I have friends that would literally call me. I'll tell them I'm mixing, and they'll be like, okay, remember to eat. And it's like, I don't want to. I don't feel like it. I want to work.
I eat after. And my therapist gets so mad at me because she says eating is not a reward. It is. It is to me. It is to me. After I'm done my work, eating is a reward.
Yeah.
It's literally a reward. It's not something I have to do. I'll drink my food. I mean that, like my smoothies and things like that. I started at 22. I lived in Paris. I was a fashion model. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm from Philadelphia, but I went to Paris in 2005, and I was a fashion model, and I was there 6 months. Yeah, it was great. It was very, very difficult. Very difficult. But while there, I had
what did you find the most difficult about it?
You want me to be honest? Okay. I believed in entrepreneurship. I wasn't really a part of the partying, the drugs, the sex. I wasn't there for that.
Not even a little bit?
Not even a little bit. And because this is the thing, and I'm gonna tell you why. Like I love those. I've been celibate for 10 years. Yeah, August 10 years. But I'm a whore just like everybody else. And I mean it, if not more than most people. I mean that. Even though I've had 10 years celibate, I'm a whore more than most people. But I went there to work. I went there to build my brand. I went there to come up in the world. And I'll never forget my French friends. I was sitting on the floor having this breakdown, and my French friends looked at me and they said, you Americans, you do this. I got to get it right. He said, you live to work instead of working to live. And I'm so hard on myself. So, and then also I'm bipolar. I didn't realize it then. Like, I had been diagnosed at 19, but I wasn't taking care of it. Bipolar 1, PTSD, and acute anxiety disorder. So there was a lot going on. And I didn't realize that when I got up close to what fashion really was, it scared the living daylights out of me. It did. I was like, I didn't sign up for this. And my stupid ass was on a one-way ticket.
I can imagine, especially with the anxiety. Oh,
yeah.
Lord.
Oh, thank you. The first person that said that. You're the first person that said that. The way my anxiety was set up, I was like, I came across the water for this, and I just panic mode just started. Panic mode. I was sick for months. I spent 2 months in their hospital. Henri Vaucluse was the name of the hospital. They took care of me. Oh my God, did they ever? You think I got a bill? Socialized healthcare. But doing that, it was really hard. The hardest part was doing it their way. Doing it their way. Because a lot of Black models, we don't have to do the coke. We don't have to do, we're thin, we're athletic. We don't have to do, and I'm a man, so I'm not, a lot. I'm not gonna where women would age and have cellulite and things like that, and their careers would come to a halt. I have worked and continued to work, and Yeah, because I got a mean walk. I mean,
And I know you was doing it. You said 40. I was like, 40 where?
yeah,
The hell?
right. I've been around for a long time, but I've had a lot of trial and misses with how to come to the public. I didn't have it right. This time it's right. For
Mm-hmm.
7 years I built this brand and it's right. It's right. So, but one of those great gospel artists that's out right now. Her name is Latice Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
She came. I interviewed her, and she said, this stuff costs money. She talked about, you want me to come and sing at your church? Well, I can't have no other job because I'm singing at your church, so you got to pay me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot that I had to learn because that's what I realized. I entered the business as a talent and I had to become an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say this, a lot of young black people, they could be models. They're beautiful, they're tall, they're the right height, they're the right weight, they got the face, they got the muscles, they got everything needed except the entrepreneurial mentality. And that's
Mm-hmm.
the thing. You can't go into fashion thinking that it's a family because it's not.
Mm-hmm.
You are your own entity, which means you have your own set of handlers, which means when you come to a show and you need something or something needs to get fixed, your team is doing that. And every
Yeah.
model next to you has a team, and they're
Mm-hmm.
doing that because they're the brand. And I didn't understand that when I was young. I
Mm-hmm.
understand it now, and it has helped me a lot in my business ethics and working with people. Excuse me. It has helped me now, but I wasn't that way when I was younger. I thought, oh, you're
Mm-hmm.
helping me because I'm talented or I'm beautiful or no. When you approach the business like that, you are opening yourself up to be robbed, literally,
Mm-hmm.
of everything. Mm-hmm.
So what was the outcome of that?
So what
You
I
being in Paris and
So what I did was, after I went in the hospital, I was in the hospital 2 months. The
mm-hmm.
U.S. embassy there in France, they paid for my flight home. They also gave me $500 so that when I got back on the soil of America, I could get to where I needed to go. And
Mm-hmm.
I did that. And what happened was I was so embarrassed because, the Elle magazines came
Mm-hmm.
out and the Marie Claire magazines came out. And when I opened it, the models that I was literally standing right next to were in the magazine. And I knew I was standing right next to them and did not get the
Mm-hmm.
photo op. I cried. It was very detrimental. But,
Yeah.
but I knew Paris was where I belonged. I
Mm-hmm.
So literally from 2005 until now, I have worked on my brand, worked on myself. I've had 16 years of therapy with a psychiatrist and a therapist. I take medicine. I got myself together so that in these next 2 to 3 years, I can go back to Paris. Because
Okay.
that's where I belong. My music belongs there. I have friends there. I'm still in fashion. So
Mm-hmm.
it's funny because I had the fashion editor of Essence magazine at the time in 2005. Her name was
Mm-hmm.
Ionia Dunley. She taught me something very valuable, and I didn't get it until almost 35 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She said to me, you have to use every talent and skill that you have to arise a respected opinion in this business.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get it until recent because what I realized is no one knew I could sing. No one knew I
Mm-hmm.
could speak. Like, no one knew how well I spoke, my articulation. No one knew these things. No one knew about my wisdom and any of those things. Decided to use them for me. And I'm glad that I did because if they had known beforehand, I might have been signed to some crazy ass contract too.
Yeah.
But I fashioned myself and I grew myself and I became all that I am today. And that is one of my photographer friends who shot me there for free because he said, "Bitch, one day you gonna be famous." He said that. He's dead now. Rest in peace. His name is Ernest Collins. But he said to me, "Paris will always be here. Come back." And when I realized there's a lot of people that leave America and become wealthy, they're in their 40s anyway, because it takes you
Mm-hmm.
it takes you time to get the hang of it. It takes you time. So that's what happened. So I'm looking at France to return my business. I've got, like I said, I've got a lot of connections there. And I do well overseas. My music does well overseas. I do well. London,
Hmm.
Germany, like I do well. France, I do well overseas. So I am very much going to be one of those people that has dual citizenship.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. But before we go too far off on me, because you're learning me, no, because we're this is what happens. I mean, you're learning me, I'm learning you.
I
I,
enjoy it. Mm.
you're enjoying it. Okay, good. I kind
Yeah.
of too, but we got to get your pretty self talking more. So, so get this. I want to. You mentioned something to me, and I want to bring it up here. If
Okay.
that's all right. If it's not, then no. It is actually very challenging for you to sing. It is
Hmm.
actually very challenging for you to do projects. So that's why you're making sure they're right. That's why you're making
Hmm.
sure that they're done to your satisfaction. Please tell us why.
Absolutely.
Please tell us why it's difficult.
So in 2015, I was diagnosed with a neurological disorder called spasmatic dysphonia. And basically, the simplest way to break that down is to think of Parkinson's, but in your vocal cords. Um, it They don't really know what causes it. I think the common thing that um, I want to survivors, people, I don't know what the word would be, but people who have spasmodic dysphonia, the thing that we mostly have in common is that we've all been through some type of traumatic something, whether it be abuse or, you know, mostly it's abuse. But anything traumatic that happens, and usually we find that that's what triggers it. So for me, when I first realized that I even had it, when I was diagnosed with it, it was so bad where it was almost like I couldn't even breathe. It was just like it felt like I was being choked literally all the time. Anytime I tried to speak, it felt like I was being choked. And a good friend of mine, Joey Joel, he told me to go to an ear, nose, and throat doctor in I want to say it was what is this Washington, one of them places in Washington D.C. So I went there. The doctor told me what it was, and it stressed me out even worse because I was like, well, you're telling me there's no cure. You're telling me you don't know where it came from. Um, what am I supposed to do with that information? Like, what do I do with that? And they basically were like, well, your options are you can get surgery, we can cut on your vocal cords, or you can get Botox. Yep. So for about 4 or 5 years, I was getting Botox injections to my left and right vocal cord. And basically what it would do is paralyze my vocal cords. And then I would sound, it was very iffy. Sometimes my voice would be very deep and very breathy, and it would be like, I would be talking like this for like maybe 3 months, and then it would kind of normalize a little bit, and it would stay normal for about maybe 2 months, and then it would go back to being non-existent. Other times I would get the Botox, and my voice would be very, very high like this for a very long time, and it would be like that for about 2 months, and then it would normalize for a little bit, and then it would go away. And what I realized was, all right, if the trigger is trauma, that means that I can fix it because you can do the work on yourself and get rid of that trauma. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So I started doing that work. I started having those conversations with my parents, and you sent me, the clip that you sent me the other day, and I was like, "Dang, that's exactly it right there. That's exactly it." I started going back into my life and doing that work, fixing those things that were broken, that
Yeah.
my parents did wrong. I started having those conversations with them, and forgiving them and forgiving myself really
Yeah.
for a lot of that stuff. And eventually, I still have it. It's not going to go anywhere. It I think for some people it can be temporary, like it doesn't stay forever. Um, but for me, I wasn't willing to take the chance of, excuse me, of it not going anywhere and me not knowing how to deal with it for the rest of my life. So I was just like, you got to deal with it. because it was so bad for me, it became paralyzing. Like, I didn't want to work. I didn't want to go find a job. I didn't want to hang out with my friends. And when I did go hang out with my friends, I was so coked up because it was just, I couldn't deal with it. I was coked up. I was drunk. I was a mess.
Yeah.
And that was the only way I really knew how to deal with it until I forced myself to find a better way.
Yeah.
And now I'm to a place where I'm like, if you don't like the way I'm talking, don't fucking listen. You know what I mean? Like, excuse my language, but
You can curse here. No, you can
that's
curse
very
here.
much what it's given. If you don't want to have a conversation with me, then we don't have to have a conversation. If it's difficult for me to say something and I need you to let me take my time, if you can't do that, then you're not the person for me. I don't need to be around you, period. And just kind of freeing up my mind in that way, freed up my vocal cords in a way where I could sit here and have a conversation with you right now and not be afraid to say the things that I need to say, or be afraid that I might stutter a little bit, or be afraid that my voice is going to get choked up. Because at the end of it all, you know what I'm saying? You can hear what I'm saying. I'm intelligent, so it's like, who cares? Everybody has got something going on. Everybody has something going on.
Yes.
And that's really kind of how I dealt with it. Working on that first project, for me, the first project was a struggle, because that was when I was really, that was in the core of it right then, and I was still doing the drugs, I was still drinking, I was still trying to find that way to deal with it, and I was going home every night, coked up.
Yeah.
But like, all right, now I need to do some music. I need to get it out of my system, because when you're on those drugs, the creative is like,
yeah.
And so that was how that first album came out. I never forget it, in my mama's basement, coked up every daggone night, singing to the top of my lungs. Did not care at all. And eventually I came to a place where I was just like, all right, first of all, mama's basement, no, we're not going to do that anymore. You know what I mean? We're not doing that anymore. Get your ass up, get a job. So I went active duty. I was already in the military, and I decided one day I woke up. Um, this was my first time trying my first and last time trying crystal meth.
Mm-hmm.
I went out to one of those sex clubs, and some bottom convinced me to do Tina. So I did the Tina, and I came home, and I was up for 3 days.
Oh.
In that 3 days, I had a conversation with myself like, this is fucking ridiculous. I don't know why you thought it was a good idea to go out and do a drug that you had never done before. Your dick is not getting hard. You can't do nothing. You're sitting here looking at the damn walls. This is crazy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Get your ass up. Go active duty. Go do whatever. Go get a job and face the fear that you have. Face it. And that was what I did. I got up. I faced the fear. I went and told one of my sergeants. She was a mentor of mine because I'm an officer.
Right.
I still am. I always have that rank. But at the time, I was an officer. And I went to my master sergeant. I told her, I said, I want to go active duty. Can you help me? She said, absolutely. She made a few phone calls. And within, I'll say 2 months, I was working up at Fort Meade, active duty, as a military funerals honor director. And I did that for about 2 years. In that time, I had to figure out how to get over that fear. Because I was going to work every day. I was talking to people every day, and it didn't matter how little bit of a voice I had. I still had to do my job. Yeah. You know what I mean? The last time I was still getting Botox injections at that time, and the last time I got Botox, I actually got a promotion. I got 2 promotions. So I was doing military funeral honors, and a lady that worked in the office, she said, I want you to do victim advocacy with me for sexual assault and rape victims. And so I did that. And I did that for about a year. And then I got a call from Fort Bragg. I think I said Fort Bragg before. It was Fort Meade that I was working at over in like Baltimore-ish area.
Okay.
I got a call from Fort Bragg, which is in North Carolina. And they said, we want you to come be the executive director of the SHARP program, which is the, sexual harassment assault response. And I was like, oh shit. I was still doing Botox, and I was at home getting the Botox done. That
Yeah.
was in North Carolina, which was 7 hours away from my house.
Yeah.
So it was like, whew, all right, decisions. Am I going to do this? Am I going to step out? Am I going to make that leap of faith? I made that leap of faith. I got me a little bit of Botox before I went, and I went. That was in 2019, and I haven't gotten Botox since.
Wow.
I haven't gotten Botox since. I went up there and I said, it doesn't matter what's going to happen, what happens. You're going to go up there with the confidence of a lion, and you're going to make it do what it do. And I haven't gotten Botox since. Sometimes it's still a little bit of a struggle, but I know how to work through it now. So yeah,
You,
singing wise,
yeah, I was going to say singing wise. Go ahead, baby.
yeah, singing wise. So I'm actually very proud of myself. I just had my first live performance in 10 years for Pride this year.
Mm-hmm.
I did, I started releasing the singles for the Fuckboy album, and I said, you know what? I'm going to perform.
Yeah.
And that was my first time performing in 10 years. And so what I did was I gave myself a little bit of grace. I did the first song live, and then I did 2 songs after that where I was singing with the track, but I was still singing.
Yeah.
And I had an amazing time. It was amazing. I sounded amazing. I think I sounded amazing.
Well, you have an amazing
But
voice.
thank you. Thank you. But it just, the freedom, of it just felt, it was like I missed it. I missed it so much because that was how I grew up. I grew up performing. I was in the Washington Performing Arts Society, singing with Children of the Gospel, singing at the Kennedy Center on the big stage
Yeah.
every year, once a year, singing solos next to Regina Bell Armstrong, I think it's her last name, Regina
Yeah.
Bell, and the Vicky Winans and the CCs and the BBs. I grew up singing on stage, literally next to them,
Yeah.
singing solos with them. You know what I mean? So for me to have been diagnosed with this thing and it take away the love of my life, it was like I wanted to die. That was what I wanted. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? It was like for me, if there's no music, if there's no singing, if I can't be on stage, why am I here? What do you have me here for? Um, Honestly, sometimes I still feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the truth of it is that I may never know why I'm here, but the amount of lives that I know that I've touched, um, for things outside of singing, it would be selfish of me to just make my whole being music because I'm so much more than that. You
Yeah.
know, I am an advocate for sexual assault victims. I'm a writer. I help bring other people. I help give other people the words to say when they don't know what to say. I'm a big brother. I'm a little brother. And so it can't just be music. And that was kind of what pushed me to know, all right, you can do it. Regardless of what you feel, regardless of how bad it might look, you can still do it. If it takes you 20 million hours to get a song out, do that shit.
Yeah.
Do that shit. And that's where I'm at with it.
You know, it's so crazy how much we have in common
Mm.
because we both, and many, when I say we, I mean so many. And I'm not
Mm.
just talking about money. I'm talking about there are so many gifted people that unfortunately have had the worst things happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
And all we want to do is make the world a better place.
Mm-hmm.
It is something. But I'll tell you something. I have never seen desire and a fight as much as I've seen in these people's eyes. in anyone on this planet. The determination cannot be fucked with. Literally. It's like, because to us, we have to do this because there's so many reasons why we shouldn't. You know? So it just, and for us to do it and achieve it is like, we don't accept defeat. We don't accept defeat.
I won't. I'm not gonna.
No, and the thing is, you're such a skilled singer too. You're such a skilled. This ain't church singing, okay? I'm the same way. I was in church, but no. I'm trained. You ain't got that. Ain't that? That ain't no. That
Thank
ain't
you.
That ain't no wow.
Thank you for recognizing.
Yeah, because it's not. You have so much control in your voice. You gonna have to send me that song. Pretty.
It's still not done. I actually have to write the second verse.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna tell you why I wrote that song.
Please do.
I wrote that song because a good friend of mine, I thought was a good friend of mine. I just started realizing the jealous tendencies. They would say certain things that let me know they were jealous. And another really good friend of mine, actually more like a sister, she told me, she said, and they call me, I'm Dimitri. That's my name.
Yeah.
She said, Dimitri, sometimes people will be jealous of you just for you simply have breath in your body.
Yep.
And I didn't because I've never been a jealous person. I've always been, even if there's something that you have that I might want, I'm not going to be jealous of you for having it. Bitch, I'm going to figure out how I can get it for my damn self.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's not giving, I'm upset at you for having it, or I feel a way about you having it. No, I applaud you for having the things that you have.
Or I want to take it from you. Take it from you.
Yes. I wouldn't, that has never been anything. I've never been that way. I've never understood it. I just don't get it. And so when I realized that the person was jealous, and I kind of paid more attention to the things they were saying, it broke my heart a little bit, because it's just like, you could be great too. You could be just as great if you stop standing in your own way. Yep. And that was where that song came from. It's like,
I love it because you say in the song, like, I don't, and I've never heard a song like that. That's why it's so iconic, because you said, you can never be me, and baby, I don't want to be you. And that's no shade. God made me this way, like, and I love, and I caught that, and that's no shade. God made me this way.
Yeah.
I have, and this is the thing, I've never been a jealous person either. Jealousy is a sickness. I have envied. I have seen things, and I have said, oh, but God, I work so hard. Why? But I've never been the type of person to go more than that, or let that spill out into my work or onto another being. What I understand, and what I've been made to understand, and I understand it so much better now at my age, is that there are timings to everything. And it's not necessarily, I used to feel like this, it's not necessarily God holding on to you saying, I'm not going to release you. It's not. No, there are a series of events that have to happen in your life so that what you want can actually be sustained. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. If the divine gave us everything that we wanted, we would die under the pressure of carrying it because we don't have everything else in place. See, now it's so crazy because, like, I tell people all the time, people, my supporters write me, they're like, something big's coming your way, something big, you've been doing this for so long, and something big's coming this way. And I'm like, yes, it is, because now I'm ready. Now I have the LLC. Now I have the trademarks. Now I have the entertainment lawyer. Now I have the accountant. Now I have all of those other components that most of the time you don't see that sustain that kind of a blessing. So I love the fact, it's so crazy, because when you told me about your condition, I was listening to that music. I'm like, where Like, like where, like I'm like I it's almost so crazy because I don't know if you're going to release it during on social media platforms or not, because I literally want to play a snippet at the end of our interview, but I'm not
Mhm.
going to because I know how music is. You know, first of all, I would kill somebody because it's like this is a publication and it's going to go out and you
Mhm.
should be getting a coin from that. Although we are partners in this collaboration, you'll be getting another coin from your music being played. And music,
Well, did you want to play a snippet of Pretty Little Lies? I don't know. I don't even know if I named the song yet. It's that undone. I still had to figure out what I'm saying in the rest of the song because the
well, you
beginning of the
also
song, and that was why it was so pointed because I knew exactly what I felt about it. And so now I want to sit with it a little bit longer and figure out what else is it that I want to say to this friend because it's not to shade the friend at all. It's coming from a place of love.
yeah,
And I knew so the next lines were when you're gonna get it together. So and it's no shade that that made me this way. Oh, when you're gonna get it together, look inside yourself and know that you can be better. Um when you're gonna get it together, look inside yourself and know something along those lines.
get that
Something along those lines.
verse two. Go back. You know how you did Pretty Little Eyes,
Hmm.
Pretty Little Lips tell Pretty Little Lies.
Hmm.
You need to do something about Pretty Little Ears, hear Pretty Little something.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, songwriting.
Okay.
I don't want no credit because
Okay.
you blessed me already. You blessed me. Like you blessed me. And that's what music does. That's why music is the one thing on this globe that stays constant. But definitely I would go back, I would pick another body part. Pretty Little Ears. Hear,
Okay.
you know, like hearing things that aren't there or hearing competition that's not there or
Okay.
there. Go there, Pretty Little
Mm.
Ears. Go there
Mm-mm.
because
I
those are the
feel
things
you.
that people are jealous with their eyes and their ears.
I feel you.
Eyes, ears, and
Absolutely.
yeah, eyes, ears, and yeah, lips. Yeah.
Mm.
Stay there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Go there.
Okay.
Okay. So
All
anyway.
right. All right.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
I got you.
Look at you. Listen. Okay. So now I'm gonna back you up. Tell everybody where you were born and where you're from.
So I'm from Maryland. I was born in Cheverly, Maryland. I was raised in Hampton, Virginia. Well, between Hampton, Virginia and Maryland. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Did you attend college? Well, you went to
Yes.
school for where'd you go? Where'd you
Hmm.
go for engineering?
I went to Bowie State University, graduated in 2012. Hmm.
Wow. And that's a for engineering, it's a 4-year degree.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it's just, that's so funny because a lot, I'm going to say this. A lot of us Black people, we come to music because we just have a voice.
Hmm.
We don't go and get the actual training and shout out to those that do, because I know a lot of classically trained pianists. I know a lot of classically trained opera singers that are Black. But even for me, I didn't get training until later, because even with the record label, my vocal coach, they told my vocal coach, don't touch his voice. We love the
Hmm.
raw quality of his voice. Do not do that. If anything, teach him how to stand on stage, be confident, and deliver his songs. So
Mm.
that's all she taught me. But I've made a study since then, but
I would love to see you perform. Ooh, child.
it's an ethereal
I would love.
situation.
I can imagine.
When my album came out, I performed at a fashion show for New York Fashion Week. And
Uh-huh.
I sang 2 songs. I sang Who I Am. It was all right. Like the no, get it. The performance was good, but
Hmm.
the song choice, Who I Am was one of my songs because I was talking to one of my haters, and it just was highly repetitious. And I felt like after I sang it, I felt like it didn't do enough to keep the audience engaged. But get this,
Hmm.
the audience was captivated by how I looked.
Hmm.
I was standing up there in this tall cat suit and these heels and thin model-esque, and they were like, even as a
And it just even the way you just do your hands, I know
oh
it was
Lord,
something. I
oh
know it
Lord,
was something.
oh Lord. Get it. There were photographers outside the event because it was a glass building.
Uh-huh.
They were taking pictures as I was on stage. So, I know now, like, if I'm going to perform, I'm going to give you the intricacy of my music. And but see, we all learned that. It was my first real official performance, but now I know. Now, next time, I'm going to give you intricacy, because the second song I sang, round one, it had the intricacy that it was needed. It should have been the first song I sang. Yeah, but we all live and we learn. But yes, and the thing is, and see, this is the thing, what I love about being an entrepreneur and an intellectual entertainer is, you know, I'm self-sustained. You know, I have a benefactor. My grandmother's been my benefactor, you know. So as we continue, it's like holding on until you get that real big exposure. I went viral in 2016 and I've managed to keep it. I've managed to keep the public eye since about 2016 and evolve at that and evolve. But my music, I don't play about my music. Like
that was when I started following you.
Yeah. See, and I didn't even get this.
I have to go look on it, because you know Instagram will tell you how long you've been following
about
somebody.
This account. It'll tell you about this account. This is so crazy, though. This is what makes me so crazy. You've been following me for all those years, and you ain't never said nothing to me.
No, we have spoken to each other before. Yeah,
and it probably was in passing. It probably, because you know how I do. Everybody that comments to me, I say, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, darling. Thank you, goddess.
No, you posted me. I want to say it might have been around my first album.
Okay.
I think you posted a photo of me. And yeah, because I have been following you a while before that.
Wow.
I want to say yes. If I remember correctly, when I did my first album, you definitely posted one of my photos, and that got me a lot of followers. I don't have a lot of followers now, but I definitely saw the follow after you.
Well. Hold on, I ain't got my long hair today, but the Queen of Shade, she has a lot of men. I'm just, you know, my long hair is not on. I gotta, she's known for bringing the best looking men to her platform, the best Latin and Black. No, it's really good. And what I admire in you is the not giving up, because like even in my venture, money gets tight and I'm like, how am I supposed to keep doing this? But the truth of the matter is I can afford to do this until the day I die. We just want it to be on a grander scale. You got to work for that. You got to earn that.
Yeah.
And I realized that I don't want anybody to hand me any shortcuts, anything I didn't work for. Because, honey, when they hand you those things, they come strung to all kinds of and I want 80% and I want this and I want that.
And you know, that's kind of something I'm just really grasping the concept of that, because I've been doing this for a while and I've worked with a lot of people. I always tell, I had a conversation with my big brother, and I always say, I feel like I've always been 1 degree separated from the famous people, because I'm always making music for somebody who works for somebody.
Yep.
And that for me kind of was like, I felt a little jaded. I don't know if I want to say jaded was the word, but I felt the way, because I felt like if I'm making music for you, and you know, I've gotten you a certain amount of views on Vivo, and you making all this money, and you know, at the time I didn't really know what contracts were. Oh, now I do.
Now you do.
Now I do. And you know, people who are in the circles with the Beyoncés and the whoever else is, and they have, you know, my hand has touched their work and it's been successful. Why are they not making sure that I'm in those circles also? And what I heard was, just keep doing you, keep working. It's because eventually you're gonna have touched so many that it's gonna be undeniable.
I'll tell you what's gonna happen. What's going to happen is your moment of coronation is going to come, and it won't be a surprise. See, that's what's happening with me. It won't be a surprise because they know you. So when you come along, and it's the weirdest thing too, because, you know, this world is something, you know, I've been like this, well, not like this, but I've been the Queen of Shade for 7 years. And It's amazing. I've done a lot of personal growth. I've done a lot of development myself. I am in control of my brand. It evolves. If I wore something, it's because I chose to.
Mhm.
There's no one telling me how to dress, how to look, how to act. This is all me. But what I realize is now that the brand is what it is, I get so much attention from Hollywood. I get so much attention from, the powers that be. And it's like, somebody said to me, and I didn't believe them until they had me on the phone and put me in the faces of people. And they're like, oh, Queen of Shade, we know exactly who you are. Keep doing what you're doing. But what I realize is this: each person that is there is a business. And
Mm.
and get this, they trying to keep themselves there.
Mhm.
Think about that. They're trying to keep
Mhm.
themselves there. If I'm just gonna say this. Well, get this. For 16 years of my life, I met a Hollywood insider and they wrote me one line. They said, I love everything about you. I said, thank you very much. And from that moment, they launched a hate campaign against me that lasted 16 years, tampering with hacking phones, computers. They leaked my album. It has been a shitstorm of them trying to stop me because they knew that once I'm there, they will not be. And I
That's
wasn't even
crazy.
and I wasn't even trying to take their job. I didn't even know what I was when they started the hate campaign. I didn't know what
Mhm.
I was. None of this was a thought. I didn't know. And to sit today and watch them do their last ditch efforts at trying to stop me, because now I have protection. Now I got people watching on the internet. Now I got server protection. Now I got this. Now I got that, and I'm just watching their pool and their attempt get smaller and smaller and smaller and closer
Mhm.
and closer to being discovered. Because I can't even say their name. If I said their name, the world knows them. But I've had to deal with them for so long.
Mhm.
But you know what? I can't say they made me. What I can say is they caused me and they forced me to flex my wings.
Mhm.
They forced me to flex because it was because of them I had to go harder.
I'm wondering if it's I don't want to get too deep into it, but
We'll
I'm
discuss it
telling
off
you,
camera.
I've been following you, and I remember.
We'll discuss it off
I,
camera.
I remember a situation that you was talking about back in the day, and I was like, huh.
Ooh.
I remember. I
She
remember.
she's not as quiet as you think. A lot of people know
Mm,
because I came out and I said it. I said it before.
yeah, you
But
did. I
now,
remember.
yeah, but
But
now,
now it's almost seems like the person is non-existent. I mean, you see things here and there, but it's like,
well,
eh.
that is by design because if you're almost non-existent, you can focus on your hate campaign easily because you're not in the
Oh,
public eye so much.
yeah.
So you can really focus on trying to end a bitch.
Mm,
But
okay.
but you can't end me.
Yeah.
You didn't start me. So how you gonna be my end?
Hmm.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. Don't say nothing.
Hmm. Hmm.
You've been following me a long time.
Yes.
Because you got it. You got it. You know exactly
you
who. I'm
you can
like,
see it
yeah.
in my face. You can see it
Yes!
in my face.
Yes. But it's okay. It is whatever. It is whatever. All
Yeah.
I know is it has taught me the beauty of lawyers. That's why I don't speak on it. Because we are
Mm.
trying to form, we're trying to make our economic damage lawsuit stick.
Hmm.
Because then they will owe me punitive damages for actually damaging my brand
Ooh.
economically. And that, do you know what this brand is worth? This
Mm.
brand is worth a lot. And the noose is getting tighter and tighter and tighter around their neck. And then we just go, so
I'm glad you stuck it out. I'm glad. I'm
get this.
glad.
Get this. There was no other option.
Yeah.
There was no other option. That's what get it. They mess with my phone and my ability to post because they know I will not stop. I will never stop. Literally, the person wants me dead because that's the only way that I will stop. But
That's crazy.
you can't kill what you didn't give life to.
Yeah.
You can't kill what you didn't give life to. Yeah. I'm not even worried about that. You did hear me say I'm a shaman, right? I'm like, we did catch that, right? We did. We
Yes,
got
come
that.
on.
Ain't no black magic that ever. I don't have to.
Mm-mm.
I don't have to eye of Newton, wing of bat, tongue of
Mm-hmm.
dog, and ear of cat. I don't have to do all of that. I can
Mm-hmm.
speak on it. Don't make me wave my hand in your direction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't even. And you will. But see, I don't do that. I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to. It's so funny because I was speaking as a shaman. I speak to the divine a lot. And the divine said to me the other day, "Why won't you just let me get her?"
Mm.
And I said, "Because I don't want you to." And the divine said, "You won't let me." I said, "Because you," and I said this to the divine. I said, "Because you don't play fair."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "You're an ancient being and you believe in totally annihilating people."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "And I need her to live because I need her to see what she could not stop."
Mm-hmm.
So the divine always says to me, "Let me get her." I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
no, 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 no. So you're not an only child.
Mm-mm. No, I have so I have an adopted older brother.
Mm-hmm.
I have let me go down the list. Okay, so I have a sister my age. I
Mm-hmm.
have a younger sister and two younger brothers.
Oh, wow.
So a bunch of siblings.
The Brady, the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
The Brady Bunch. That is a good thing. That is a good thing. Are they
I
supportive
am
of?
the oldest born child though.
Oh, see, I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the oldest
Yeah.
too. On my mom's side, I'm the middle child
Okay.
on my dad's side, but we don't claim.
Okay.
We don't claim them. I'm the. We don't claim them. Yeah. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Are you close to your siblings?
I am. So my sister and I have actually gotten a lot closer over the last 3 or 4 years, and I
Mhm.
love it. My little sister. So I'm probably the closest with her.
Yeah.
She just got married. I want to say it was the 13th of September. 13th of September. Yeah.
Did you sing at the wedding?
And I was supposed to, but it actually worked out that I didn't because her wedding planner ended up dropping out the day before the wedding. Yep. And I ended up being the coordinator. I was the one telling people who did left and right, and then I ended up being the MC also. So yeah, I
Oh
ended up being the MC at the wedding. So I got the mic. Oh, don't you
no!
don't
So,
doubt
but you
it.
know what's so crazy? See, you know what's so crazy? Black folk need to understand these contracts because
Yeah.
I had a contract on her ass. You cannot renege, or the damages will be on your head.
Well, I'm pretty sure she did have a contract.
Yeah.
I think my mom was the one that bought the wedding planner. But what she said was that her two children got COVID. So
Oh.
yeah. Now my thing was like, okay, I
They didn't get
understand your children
vaccinated?
got COVID. I don't know about all of that. But my thing was, even if your two children did get COVID, if they not dead, they not dead. And you know it's a wedding, you got to plan. Put a mask on and keep it moving, lady. Like, but I mean, that was just me being in the military. We
But
have a
get this,
thrive on philosophy.
she didn't want to give the bride COVID. How about that?
I think it was BS. I don't think her kids had COVID. I'm a keep it 100. I think
This
it
is
was.
gonna be seen. Stop
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I don't care. Listen, my
You
sister.
worse than me.
I'm gonna tell you, this wedding was such an extravagant wedding. If I were the wedding planner for it, I would have been overwhelmed myself
Right.
because it was so many moving pieces. And my sister is, I don't know where the fuck she got the money from because I couldn't tell you. It was fireworks. She had a day. She wanted to have a dove release. The guy couldn't make it, but she had ballerinas dancing down the aisle as her flower girls. She had the
What?
champagne wall. She
Real
had a fire
ballerina?
pit. Yes, real ballerinas dancing down the aisle as flower girls throwing petals. She had the daggone. This was literally the most extravagant wedding that I have ever seen, and I'm gonna tell you how it happened. So I was supposed to sing, and I came in, and I basically planned to dedicate the day to my sister, being there, making sure that as gay big brother, that her makeup was done, her wedding, her dress was on good. Because my mom was acting like she couldn't, help her get in a dress good. And I'm like, okay, mom, I've done drag before. So I was like,
Yeah.
listen, I'm going to get you in the dress. Don't you
Yeah.
worry about that.
Yeah.
So I came in and I'm sitting there, I'm practicing my song, and I am fixing up flowers because I had to work. My sister asked me to make the bouquet. So I'm making an extra bouquet because there was one that wasn't made the night before. And my mom comes running around the corner. She says, "Oh, Dimitri, I need you to get control of this situation now." And I'm like, "Ma, what do you mean?" And she's like, "It's just so much going on." And I'm like, "Well, Keaton didn't tell me that she wanted me to, control the situation because another natural gift of mine is management. So I didn't want to take control of the situation. And then my sister be like, "What are you doing? This is not your wedding to be." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went to my sister. She was in the dressing room, and I said, "Keaton," I said, "Mommy said that you need somebody to get this situation together." She said, "Yes, go." I said, "All right." I
Ah!
went out there. And I got those people together. It was people standing around that was supposed to be putting bows on chairs. I said, "There's way too many of y'all putting bows on chairs. Some of y'all could come do this." And the two of y'all put the bows on the chairs. And you know what I
Wow.
mean? Like I had to delegate the situation.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing, but I tell you what, by the end of that night, so the DJ, he he was good, but he wasn't giving me enough presence for what I needed for my sister. So
Right.
I went and got that microphone and I DJ'd and MC'd the rest of. I MC'd that night. Yes, I did. I MC'd the shit out of that wedding. MC'd the shit out of that wedding. Yep.
Wow.
All night, everybody kept saying, "You're doing so great. Oh my God, is this what you do as a profession?" I'm like, well, I had never been an MC before, but entertainment, if you're an entertainer, you know how to entertain.
Yup.
You know what I mean?
Yup.
So all you got to do is have little command presence and make people laugh. The two of those things together is like,
Child.
you can do anything.
Yeah, I hosted something years ago. Like it was before the Queen of Shade. And they were so gracious to me. It was on a college campus here. It was the Art Institute, not the University of Arts. We got both of them. It was the Art Institute before they started closing up all their branches. And I emceed and I had this whole Jane Toussaint number. I was going to do I Don't Want to Be Alone Tonight. It was so crazy. It was fun to MC. Like they had drag queens that performed and the drag queen, it was a contest. So the drag queen that they thought was going to win, I guess they didn't want to win. So then the other ones came out throwing water on themselves and sweating and doing all trying to win. It was crazy. It was crazy. I ended up singing for them. Like it was
Okay.
yeah, it was really beautiful. It was really beautiful. But
So do you think MCing is something that you could do on a professional scale? Would you?
you know what? You want my honest opinion?
Always.
They could never pay me enough. They could never pay me enough to deal with people and all that energy in the room.
Yeah.
And me as a shaman, I'd be done looked at her and said, "Honey, your man is cheap. And so are you with his brother."
Mm. Mm. Now reading the room.
Yeah,
Reading the
it's
room
that prophecy.
and reading the room.
Yeah, it's after where I work a room. It's that prophetic anointing. I can't. Yeah, I can't. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. There's too much energy. Too much energy. No, too much energy. No. I have friends that they go to the clubs and they host and all that stuff. She's a little bit too queeny for that. I can't do that. That's not how I work money. Not at all how I want to make my money. And no shade to nobody doing it, but my thing is it requires a certain vibe, and I already don't allow a lot of people access to me.
Yeah,
that's the issue. I don't I don't allow.
And I think part of the reason why I was able to do it so well that particular night is because
it was for
I knew everybody that was there. Yeah, it was for my sister, and I knew everybody that was there. My
Yeah.
mom was saying, get some cards and learn the people before you did. I said, but it's not going to be the same. It's not,
Right.
not to say that I couldn't do it, but I'm kind of where you are with it. I'm an entertainer. You
Yeah.
can't pay me enough.
You can't pay me enough to deal with that headache.
No,
No.
you can't.
I
Because
don't even
if you're going
I
to
don't
do it
even drink.
right,
I don't even
if
drink.
you,
Tell some y'all got your bottles. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't even drink. So
I don't, before I perform, I don't drink either. I
you
don't drink.
can't.
I don't smoke. I don't do none of that.
No.
Before I'm performing, mm-mm.
No, but they couldn't, like, people say, oh, because I've had people reach out to me. Oh, but you know what it is? It's because nobody has seen me.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to get around me so they can say, oh, I know the Queen of Shade. And no, bitch, you don't know her. Get away. Be gone.
That's true. True. True.
No, you don't know her. You don't know her. And now I'm 42, so I got a reason. I'm like, no, you young whippersnappers, y'all stay in them clubs. I don't go in dark places. I love luncheons in the middle of the day, so I can see everybody there. I give you one good hour, and we're gone.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I don't do nightlife. Nightlife. I'm sleeping at night or working on my own,
yeah,
or working on my own, or working on my stuff. Like, no, I love
that part.
I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait.
That part.
Yes, I couldn't wait to get to 40 because now I got the perfect excuse. Like, no, honey. No, honey. Mm-mm.
And so I turned 35 in July,
Mhm.
but I'm very much the same way. It's like I've done the club. I've been there. I've lived that. I shaked my ass. I did the coke.
Yeah.
I did the. I don't want to do that no more.
Right. I had a moment when I was younger. And what did I do in the club? Me and my best friend, we danced. That's what we did. We danced all night with each other in the mirror. Like, and that was what we did. That's what we went to do. Dance. And literally not take nobody home. I tried to take somebody home one time, and child, I'll never do that again. He didn't even make it to my house. I was like, you got $20 for this? I said, oh, honey.
No.
I said, oh, honey. Even back then, I wasn't the Queen of Shade. I said, baby, let me save you the trouble. Here's your 20. Goodbye. Here you go. That's what you want. See, I'm that type of person. Listen, I ain't got no problem giving you what you need, baby. Get out of my face. I had a mentor once say, sometimes money is a good thing because you can pay people to leave you alone. Yeah. He taught, his name is Byron Nelson. He's a great mentor and motivational speaker. He travels all over this world. And
I was going to say, I feel like I've heard that name before.
Well, there was something he was into. It was called ACN. It was one of those multi-level marketing companies.
Okay.
And he had a great tribe in that company. And, he met me, and I remember I met him in Detroit for like a summit. And he looked at me and he said, you're going to do more than I ever did. He looked right at me. He said, you've got it. You're going to do more than I've ever done. And he was right, just not in ACN. He was right. He was absolutely right. But he looked at me and he said, oh yeah, honey, you. And then he taught us. He said, sometimes paying the money gets you out of a whole lot of stuff. So yeah. Because they're not going to come back. They owe you so much money. They're not going to come back. They can't show their faces. Give them the money, honey. And let them
you definitely got it, and you got it. Every time you post a video, I stop. I'm scrolling, and there you are. And I look and I listen.
They don't.
And then when you're done, I might play it again. Because I'm like, I need to make sure I got it. So I'm playing it again, and then I'll go on. I'll scroll on by till I see another video another day, and I stop and I listen.
You know what it is? That level of professionalism comes with a high cost. I literally have to focus. I don't have videos where it's, oh, okay, this one was good. Now this one was over the top. And then, that was okay. No, they all hit.
You got to be consistent.
Because I'm constantly in that place of meditation with the divine. So my quality never goes down. It's not up and down, up and down, up and down. That quality, I perform at a professional level the whole time. So at that time, that took years of practice. It's the only way I got good like that. Practice. And then I'm writing them. What I say is scripted. So it's like, come on now. She's on another level.
Yeah.
Passenger for her plane. I'm not, And I love it because at 40, I have all the reason. Honey, they say, what do you do? Honey, I need to go home and luxuriate. I need a bath.
Uh-huh.
I need to focus on retirement, building it. You know, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I like it that way. And so many people, they're like, oh, Queen, come here, Queen, come there. And I'm like, sweetie, do you see this brand? I am not a novelty act. This is an act of God. Literally. I'm doing this. I am an act of God. Literally.
So I want to talk to you about,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm about to go inside because it's getting cold out here.
Okay, we'll go inside. We got plenty of time. Just
So one
find
of the
your light.
videos,
Just find your light when you go
yeah,
inside.
right. One of the videos, my nephews are in here, and that's why I was I was outside because I didn't want them to be in here screaming video games.
Oh, okay.
But you did a, it's like a, hold on,
Yep,
let me
it's
get
good.
over here a little
It's
bit.
good.
Okay.
It's good.
You did a video, I think it was one of the ones where you sent me, and you were talking about the work that you had to do. So talk to me a little bit about the work that you did, because that was actually how my album, where I formulated my album, because I was doing self work.
Yeah.
And, it started off in a place where I was very upset about a situation that happened.
Yeah.
And in being upset about that situation, I kind of, I went inward. Like, okay, well, why am I being called these things? Or why is somebody looking at me a certain way? Have I given them reason to, and then after realizing, okay, maybe I did, I kind of was like, all right, well, now I'm going to embody that, because if I am those things, why not be those things? And then in that, I kind of realized I don't have to be those things. You know what I mean? So
Get this.
talk to me a little bit about what your self discovery kind of looks like.
Absolutely. I'm going I'm going to first start with something that one of my therapists, because over 16 years I've had four of them. One thing that one of my old therapists said to me, because I had a lot of trauma surrounding my voice and being gay and being bullied and beaten up. And then when I moved to the suburbs, it was no longer physical. It became more emotional abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Your voice and you're gay and, you make fun of you, but white kids, they don't really use their hands and their fists.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more a taunting thing. But turn around and I went to my therapist and I'm up there crying and I'm all upset and she's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, these people, every time I hate walking down the street, sometimes these people are like, oh, look at that faggot, look at this, look at that. And you're gay, this, that, and the other. And she changed my perspective immediately.
Mm-hmm.
She looked at me, she said, Bjorn, because that's my name. She said, Bjorn, what are these people doing? I said, they're teasing me because I'm gay. She said, are they lying? And I looked at her, puzzled. She said, are you gay? I said, yes, I am gay. She says, do you know that you're gay? I said, yes, I do know that I'm gay. She said, so then if you know that you're gay, why does it matter if they know?
Right.
She says, it doesn't matter. They're not lying on you. You don't, and then get this furthermore, you don't have to own what they're saying about you. But you know for yourself, don't take offense because they're not saying anything that's not true. That was the first experience I had. But for the first, but 16 years, first couple of years, it's so crazy because, like I said, the spirit of a man lives inside of me. So I had, for a number of years, even now, I had a huge problem with other people helping me, because in the past, when people tried to help me, it was always came attached with strings. And I would always keep my integrity and have to go the high road and suffer because I wouldn't take the help. Because I wasn't giving up my ass, my throat, whatever, So the first couple of years were me learning that, help is good. Take help where you can get it because you need it. Because what you need, you don't presently have. So
Yes.
So take the help. I learned that.
And it took me a long time to it took me a long time to come to that. Oh Lord, see, now my family is moving and turning around. You hear the dogs tiptoeing around.
Yeah. You all
No,
right?
yeah. But it took me a while to kind of accept that also, and even get myself in therapy. it took a while because I didn't want to believe. I had a therapist when I was younger.
Yeah.
Um, and as you become a man, as I became a man, it was just like I can do it on my own. I can figure it out. I don't need this. I don't need to talk to nobody.
Right.
And then also I work in the psychiatric, mental health
Field.
field.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I have all the coping mechanisms. I don't need to talk to anybody. I don't need, whatever. And I realized eventually you kind of do, because if you don't talk to somebody, you'll go crazy,
Yeah. Therapists
crazier.
have look at this. Therapists have therapists. Doctors have doctors. Lawyers
Hmm.
have lawyers.
Hmm.
Accountants have accountants.
Hmm.
The same thing.
But you know what? The album that I just did, Fuck Boy,
Yeah. What?
that
Talk to me about
that
that.
was
Why you
therapy.
call? Yeah. Why
Oh,
you
that was
call him fuckboy?
therapy. That was therapy.
It
That
was.
was therapy. Yes. Now, okay, I gotta go back outside because I can't talk about it with my nephew. They're too young.
Go to the bathroom or something. I don't know.
That's what I'm about to do. That's what I'm about to do. Because I'm sitting here like, we getting good in the
I don't want you
conversation.
freezing. I don't want you freezing.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want you freezing. It's
All
not good.
right.
Not good on the vocal cords.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah, there we
All
go.
right. Here we go. Here we go.
There we go.
All right. So
You said it was therapy. The album Fuckboy.
it was therapy. I'm breathing deep because it's like, okay, you know. So best friend. And you know how in the gay world, uh, a lot of best friends are having sex,
Yes.
It
Yes.
was that kind of situation. Um, and my best friend and I, we have been best friends for about 15 years.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, he was more than just a best friend.
Right.
I fell in love with him.
Yeah.
And eventually, when I had moved to North Carolina, when I was working at Fort Bragg, I kind of accepted the fact that I was in love with him. And I told him because I ended up telling him because I felt like he wasn't being a good best friend.
Okay.
I had lived there for while I was downstairs. I had lived there for I want to say about 6 or 7 months, and he had not come to see me even once.
Right.
And so I felt the way about it, and I told him, I was like, "You have never really been the best friend to me. Like you, it always feels like I'm getting used. You've stolen from me. You've stolen
Oh,
money from me, a very large amount of money."
oh,
When I first joined the army, and it's just a lot of things where I kind of was, pushing it to the side, brushing it off, and I
yeah.
wasn't really. I've always been a very loyal person.
Yeah.
So his response to me and me telling him that I was in love with him and I felt like he had me, I told him I felt like he had me as like a lap dog or a pet or something like that.
Oh,
And he said, mind you, we've been having sex for 15 years.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He said to me, why would I believe that you're in love with me? You have sex, you fuck everybody. Okay. So I knew that was the end of that friendship. I said, you know what? We don't need to be friends no more. We don't need to do nothing. We don't need to talk. We don't need to try and make up. We don't need to. It could be done. Because you've done too many things to me for me to have stuck by you for so long, for me to have been there for you so many times, for you to have been the consistent person in my life that I've been sleeping with for 15 years. Granted, we both have been sleeping with other people,
Right.
but through every relationship that you've ever been in,
Right.
I'm right there being your top piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm not about to do that with you no more. I'm not about to do that.
Right.
So angry. I ended up making my first single from the album, which is called One Best Friend. It's a diss track.
Wow. See,
Go listen to it.
one thing you don't do is anger a musician, child.
Well, yeah, okay. So I did that, and then there I was like, let me kind of go do some self exploration and figure out is there some truth to what he's saying? Because I was promiscuous. I was sleeping with whoever I felt like sleeping with. He, she, them, they, and
Right.
everybody else. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so I decided that body that day. I'm going to explore that musically. I'm going to fuck on who I want to fuck on. I'm going to be as much of a hoe as I want to be. And I'm going to write about it. And I'm going to sing about it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so a good part of the album is that. But it's not so simple. You have the first track it's called Nothing Different. And that's basically where I'm saying, ooh, you gotta listen to this album. The first
Is it
track is a song.
available?
I sent it to you on the Google Drive. Remember?
Oh, you did. That's what you did. You did. You did. You did.
Mhm.
That's right.
So listen, the first track is just an intro, and it's basically me acknowledging the fact that I knew who you were the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the song is called Nothing Different, and it's basically saying, we had way too much fun in our days together, but I can't blame this on you because it's very retrospective. Like I'm looking, it's very much like it's almost a foreshadowing of the album where I'm saying taking some accountability at the very beginning, but then I'm about to go into a song where I'm not taking any accountability at all, and it's very much fuck you, bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that initial accountability
You
is
lost a
there, where
friend
it's
and
like,
a love. You lost a friend
yeah.
and a lover. Yeah.
And so the first it's like, okay, who you were. You've done this to me before. You stole the money from me before. You said the things about me before, and so I chose to stay your friend. That was my decision. So I really blame this on you. And then it goes into One Best Friend, where I talk about some things and I spill a little bit of tea, right? And then it goes to the next track where it gets a little bit it's a little campy. And it might not make sense to a lot of people because the scene that I set up is a drive-through. It's a
Uh-huh.
drive-through, and it's a
I get
young
it
lady, and
already.
she pulls up into the drive-through, and she asks for a 6-6. She says she get the 6-6 dark chocolate special, and I say we don't have the 6-6 dark chocolate special. We only got the light skin nigga special and something like that. And then she's like, well, I don't know if I want that because whatever, but it's kind of comical. And then she pulls off, and I tell her she better have my money. So the setup of that is setting up how we want everything like this.
Yeah.
We want sex like this. We
Yeah.
want it now, now,
Want
now, now, now,
success,
now, now.
success,
Yeah.
everything. It don't come like that.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
then it goes into the song following that is called Love Language. And that's the ridiculous. I think to me, that is the most ridiculous song on the album because it's so sexy. It's so sexy. But then at the end of the album, so the album, I'm saying, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of it. So let me see. It goes, I don't need many things, but all I want is you. And if you meet me halfway, baby, we could see it through. It's tried real hard in the past, too bad they didn't like. What's the word? But I wanna work it with you. Cause you make me feel like it's worth it. Promise if I take this job, you won't hurt me. And then it's like talking about basically talking about being the love language.
Yeah.
It's talking about sex being the love language. So the hook is sex, touching, fucking, you know that I want it. Legs around me, baby, you feel it, I'm something. That's my heartbeat. Looking for something, you're something.
Yeah.
Speak my love language.
Oh.
So throughout the song, I'm singing about how
You gonna make me go listen to this.
yeah, go listen. I'm talking
You
about
gonna make me
how
go
I
listen
want
to
to
this.
talking about how I want to love, how I want to. I know that I don't really need to be doing this, but if I try it, can I try it? Let me speak my love language. But my love language is sex. Touching, fucking, you know that I want it, right? So it's like, okay, well, why is he equating sex with love? Like that's a little bit
No, it's not.
messed up.
No, it ain't.
But then at the end, and this is why I say it gets ridiculous. By the end of the song, you realize I don't even know the person's name.
Oh, that's the
By the
story.
end of the song, I don't even know the person's name.
Ooh.
And I say to them
I
at the
get
end
to
of the
sound all them
album,
gays like that.
I
See?
say to them, I say, I want you to be my boo thing. You hear me say, I want you to be my boo thing, right? And then I say, I want you to be my boo thing. I'm like, what's your name again? Like, so I'm very conscious with the album about what's happening, about the fuckboyisms. I was very purposeful about all of it. Like, there's nothing there that I'm not a
When does this
person. I'm an
album come
artist.
out? I know I
I'm an
got my
artist.
preview copy, but when does this album come out?
The 10th of October. It'll be out in 5 days.
But you know what else? Do you know what I
Fifth for
realized?
the fifth or
You know
fourth.
you know what I realized? If it's coming out October 10th, these emotions are still pretty raw and real.
Um, no.
Because it's like, of course you want him to hear it.
Honestly, I couldn't give a shit if he heard it or not now.
Yeah.
I really couldn't give a shit if he heard it or not. I'm healed from that situation.
Yeah.
Um,
I like to hear that.
it's been for, I want to say last time we spoke was 2019,
Oh, wow.
2020, 2019, 2020-ish was the last time we spoke. I had seen him out. The last time I saw him out was at somebody's funeral. A mutual friend that we had died, and I saw him out with his ex lover and his current lover and his ex lover, who all
Oh,
get
he's just,
mentioned in
baby, he the worst to ever do it. He the worst to ever.
yeah,
I don't know this
they
man.
were
I'm
there.
gonna do like Kiki Palmer said. Kiki Palmer said this. Sorry to that man, but that's he sounds like the worst man. He sounds like the worst man to ever do it. You got your ex lover and your wow. Well, maybe they polyamorous. Who knows?
Not,
Wow.
but I did not beat his ass.
Wow. Well, good. Yeah. Don't beat nobody ass. Yeah. Don't beat nobody ass.
And that for me,
listen, I don't want you singing from a jail cell. I don't want criminal songs.
No, absolutely not. But that for me let me know.
Yeah, you got over it.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you now. You say you don't want me to sing it from a jail cell, but the thing about me is
you violent.
I'm not a hood dude. Yes, I'm not a hood dude, but I am very much. I want to call myself a nigga, but I'm a nigga. And so, you know what I mean? It's giving.
Guess what?
It's giving.
Guess
it's giving.
what?
If I have to beat your ass, it's gonna get me. You
Guess
know what I
what?
mean?
Guess what?
What?
Guess what?
What?
My neighbor, he tells everybody all the time, do not let those pretty dresses and wigs fool you. Bjorn is a nigger. And guess what? He is absolutely right.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to. I will try to attempt to flee. If you bar my way out, I will beat your ass. And wait for the cops to come because they are not going to come and get me.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're going to come scrape your ass up off the side of the street.
When I saw him at the funeral and that didn't happen, I knew
that you were over it.
That was kind of new. And you know what? Honestly, that was when, and it's such a beautiful thing because I was stuck.
Yeah.
I was at a place with the album where I didn't know where I wanted to go with it.
Right.
And when I went to that funeral and I realized that I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to feel away. I didn't have to fight him. I didn't need vindication. I didn't need any of that. It allowed me to make the rest of the album.
Yeah.
And not only did it allow me to make the rest of the album, it allowed me to dig a little bit deeper into myself. Well, when I started therapy, I was in therapy already by the time the funeral happened.
Yeah.
And that kind of gave me the opportunity to look at why am I doing these things that I'm doing? And I went back to the very first person, the very first one. That it's a song on there. Well, it's an entry. It's called The One. And I
Yeah.
talk about, my very first love. And then there's a song called Window. And
Yeah.
I talk about basically waiting for that person. And if I didn't make the choice to, move on, that I would be waiting at that window for the rest of my life.
Oh, wow. All right,
And
we got to plug this album. We got to plug this album right now. It's called Fuck Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it going to be available? October, you said October 10th? 5 days from now, Fuck Boy. Where will it be available?
It'll be everywhere. It'll be on Spotify.
platforms.
It'll be Apple, on Tidal, on Amazon Music.
Tell them how to spell your name, or you want me to do it. Dauví.
Spell it Dauvi, and you can do the accent over the I.
Yeah.
I think if you don't do the accent over the I, it will still come up, but it might be an old page. So I think that it's best to do the accent over the I. I know you can definitely find it that way. The album is Fuckboy is spelled FXCKBOY.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going.
So right now I have I want to say 4 singles out. I'm actually going to take them down because they weren't mastered. They still sound good. They're still of listening quality, but the album is mastered and they weren't mastered. So Give Me That is out now. Bad Karma is out now. Ooh, Better is out now, and One Best Friend is out now, and all of those are from the album.
Oh, good. Yeah, I see them, and you know what I love? I love your artwork. You did different artwork for every last one.
Yeah, thank you. I do the artwork too.
I know. That's why I said it. Give Me That, Bad Karma, Better, and One Best Friend.
Mm-hmm.
I found you. He's already on.
Yep, there I am, right there.
Already on Apple. All right, mister. I have enjoyed this. Give me 3 words that inspire and empower you.
3 words that inspire and empower me. Love.
Mm-hmm.
Money. No,
I didn't hear the second one. Love.
I said love, sex, and money.
Love, sex, and money. What's your birth sign? I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Hold on, my AirPods might have died.
Yeah, they died.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
What's your birth sign?
Cancer.
Lord, my best friend is a Cancer. Y'all some silent, vicious ass people.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Silent, vicious ass people. You like literally Cancers to be sitting there plotting your whole demise, and you don't even know it. They done buried you out back, done made me an accomplice. I got the shovel, and we ain't even gone yet. They ain't even done the deed yet. But I told my best friend, I'll beat it.
That's us.
I'll beat it.
Sure.
Listen, I told him, I said, listen, he's from Texas. I said, I'll be there though. I said, I said, you just better make sure we get away with this because I'm a queen. I mean,
and we love somebody that's loyal. We love somebody that's loyal.
That's what I wanted to say to you. That's what I wanted to say to you. You were saying we love somebody that's loyal. I heard a clip from Steve Harvey. You know, he does many, many clips. People take from what he says all the time. This was actually on his show, the Steve Harvey show. He told a young woman, he said, the problem is with certain people in your life, your loyalty is past its expiration.
Yes. Oh,
you are being loyal to people where your loyalty should have already expired because their loyalty to you already expired. I
love that clip. I love it.
Yeah, I heard that last night. And he was
love it.
Loyalty has an expiration date.
It does.
A lot of people don't realize when a person shows you who they are, believe them. Yes. Believe them and leave them.
And you know, see, I can sit and talk to you all night.
I know. We're going to have to get off of here. We're going to have to get off of here. All right, you did that. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
All right. So right now you can find me at Right Mind Control on Instagram. My Twitter.
Right Mind Control. I'm going to put it in there.
Yep. RIGHTMINDCTRL. My Twitter is a little X-rated right now, so we're not going to talk about that. But Not
What
here.
you on
Not for
Twitter
them.
doing?
Huh?
What you on Twitter doing?
Sucking and fucking.
Serious?
Absolutely.
See?
I do it all. You heard me say love, sex, and money. Okay.
Shit. Well, when I get off of here, you're gonna give me that Twitter. All the people gonna be mad now. All the people gonna be mad. Why she get the Twitter? I got all the nasty Twitters, child.
They know it. They know it.
Listen, my Twitter says my Twitter likes are capital letters adult because I am an capital letter adult.
Adult.
Parents, censor your children. I will not censor myself.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how
Yeah, I'm almost certain. I'm almost certain that people know what my Twitter is. I got 24 on it, 24,000 on there right now.
Oh,
so
wow.
I mean, that's a small amount compared to what
Welcome
other
to the
people
queendom.
got.
I'm like, I got so many boys on there. Welcome to the queendom.
Well, compared to what other folks got, it's a small amount, but y'all, you know, they see me out and they know who I am. So it's I want them to know me for something other than that, though.
But you know what you do? But you know what you do? Use everything.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Use it all.
Absolutely.
It's your brand. It's your brand. It's your brand. You just a singing porn star. So don't stop. And the album Slave.
It does. It does. It does. I'm gonna tell you. I keep listening to that thing. I listen to it. I'm like, damn, this is such a good project. I cannot wait for it to come out. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Let me get rid of these people. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings of Dauví, singer, songwriter, recording engineer, slut puppy like the Queen of Shade.
Yeah.
Extraordinaire. Say goodbye, but don't hang up.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love y'all for listening. I really want to thank the Queen of Shade for having me. You are amazing. You're beautiful. You're everything. And yeah, so I'll say again, on Instagram, you can find me at Right Mind Control, RIGHTMIND. On Twitter, ooh, what is that Twitter? I think it's make it _talk, something like that. Y'all know where I'm at with the Twitter now. On the social platform, the music platforms, you can find me DAUVI with the accent over the I, and enjoy.
Thank you so much for doing this today. We had a real, like, for my first conversation back, this was absolutely amazing. This was so amazing. And I think so many people are going to enjoy you and what we said and how we said it. And I love that. And I want to end by saying, all of it is your brand. All of it, listen, people make money off of us. I posted something today and it said, making money off of someone is different from making money with someone. Choose which one you want. See, I want to make money with people. I don't want nobody. I don't want to make money off of people, and I don't want them making money off of me. I want to make money with. So when you say with, that means there's a component of ownership there for both parties. I don't play. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out. Hold on.
See y'all later.
So did you enjoy? I hope you did. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and don't forget to cash at me at the Queen of Shade. I am your favorite content creator, right? Right. You want to see more of this content, right? Right. Cash at me. I love you. Mwah.
I've got my black stilettos on. Don't you make me take them off. I'm assuming first position. Gonna show you I'm a boss. I've been given 60 seconds just to put my thing